What's going on, guys? This is Ep.2 and welcome to episode 2 of my Request a Hybrid series. If you want to know the rules and whatnot, go back to the first episode. I'll leave it as a link in the description below. As you can see here, we've had a few comments on the last episode. We didn't have a load, but the one I'm going to pick out is Johan Skills' comment of Modric, Gundogan and Balotelli. I have to build a hybrid around these three players. Basically, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what the rules are. The first player that you need to request should be between 100k and 250k. The second player should be between 50 and 100k, and the last player should be anywhere between 0 and 50k. It doesn't matter what player, what position, what club, what league, nothing. Just any three random players that you'd like to see put in a team. As you can see here, these are the three players that have been requested: Modric, Gundogan and in form Balotelli. Now, this was hard to build a hybrid around these three because Balotelli doesn't have too much strong links going into him, and they're all completely different leagues with completely different nationalities. As we go through the prices here, the prices were a little bit off. Gundogan was just under 50k, I think he was anyway. Balotelli was just under, but we'll count for one of them as just over, and Modric was the player that's over 100k, even though he was just under 100. So like I said, the team was quite hard to build around, but I think I did a pretty good job in the end. As you can see there, we've got a lot of French league players up in the upper quarter of the pitch. Then we've got the Real Madrid links down in the bottom left and the Man City links down in the bottom right. I'll get more into how the team played and whatnot later on, but the three players were okay. I wasn't too keen on Gundogan and Modric. Like I said, I'll get into that a little bit later on, but considering the team I built, I was fairly impressed. Take note that all the games and all the highlights of this will be played in Division 2 of the Ultimate Team seasons. So I'm up against good people. Don't make it think that I'm up against poor people. I was up against good people, so it was a real test for this group of players. I just want to ask a quick question. I know I don't get that much views on this video compared to like my Swansea career mode videos and stuff, but those of you that are watching, if you can let me know in the comments below. Last episode I kind of cut the highlights up into like saves and good tackles, good defensive play, but this episode is going to be strictly goals. So take a look at this episode, and then if you could go back and watch the last episode, let me know which way you want me to edit it, and then I'll do it like that in the future. But for this episode I'm just going to show the goals, and I'll probably continue to do that unless I get comments otherwise. As you can see here, Ben Arthur went on an amazing run. Like I said, it's Division 2, so I'm not coming against any like really bad people. In fact, I'm coming up against some really good people, and the team handled well. Some definite shine-through players in this team are Mario Balotelli and Ben Arthur. I also thought the two centre-halves were really good, Pepe and Otamendi. Would definitely recommend Pepe over Otamendi, but like I said, they were both really good. Didn't really notice the fullbacks too much. Zabaleta was surprisingly good. He made a lot of like last-ditch tackles and some good muscle work to knock players off the ball. Rulli in goals was actually pleasantly good too. That makes sense, doesn't it? Lacazette was also a really good player. I can imagine that he's a really good player up front. If you're wondering why you've got the likes of Lacazette, Menez and Ben Arthur at cam, well, Ben Arthur is a cam, but Lacazette and Menez, who are strikers, it's just because I needed a cam that was French in the middle, with two French cams out wide, and I looked at the French cams in the League One, and they weren't that fast. And I'm not a pace abuser myself, like Balotelli isn't that fast, but to have them in them wide positions, I felt like I needed a little bit of pace, and that's why I went with Lacazette and Menez. They both got like high 80s pace. I think Lacazette's got 86 and Menez has got like 87 or something like that. One thing I did like about this team, everyone in the front 5, is it 5? No, everyone in the front 6, so from our 2 CDMs up to our striker, we're all 4-star skill move. Lacazette with another good goal. I really did like Lacazette, and I want to make him in the team and put him striker. I'm guessing he'd be really good there. Like I mentioned earlier, the rules for the series, it will come up at the end, so if you don't really quite get it, then it should be a bit more clear at the end of the video. But basically, I want one player on Ultimate Team that's worth between 100k and 250k, and then another player that's worth between 50k and 100k, and then the last player worth between 0k and 50k. That's probably the best way to do it, because that's my budget at the moment. I've got about 500k coins, so I mean I could go just over the 250k, maybe 300k mark, but I don't know. I'm not getting that much comments on these videos anyway, so I'm purely putting these up just out of enjoyment because I love playing Ultimate Team. I still haven't entered the weekend league. That's something that I need to do. But I'll go on to talk about the squad as a whole. Like I said, I played in Division 2. I played 5 games with this team and I won 5 games. That's a nice goal from Balotelli. I'd be lying if I said I tried to do that. This was actually a really tight game, and we were 60 minutes in, we were drawing 1-1, and you'll see here, it's the cross in from Enes. He takes that touch. I didn't mean for him to take that touch, but it's a good finish into the bottom corner. But yeah, like I said, I don't get that much comments on these videos, so I'm not expecting like a load of feedback. But if 1 or 2 people commented some players they'd like to see me use on Ultimate Team, then I wouldn't mind doing that at all. But I'll go on to talk about the bad points of the team. The 2 CDMs aren't really CDMs. That was noticeable. Modric and Gundogan, as good players as they are, they kind of like they both are really good centre mids, CMs in the game. In a 4-3-3 they'd be perfect, you know, something like that. But as 2 CDMs, it didn't matter so much because there was 2 of them and they kind of like covered for each other. But if I didn't like them. If they were a single CDM, then I don't think they'd be a good fit for your team. I thought they were both kind of sloppy, but yeah, they weren't too bad, but you could just, like I said, if you played them as a CDM on their own, then they'd probably get overrun. They were really good with the ball on the feet, obviously. As you can see here, goals starting with that keeper really getting the ball up, some nice interplay. I did score some nice goals with this team, and this FIFA hasn't really been one for me for nice goals, but with this team I had a lot of fun with them, I'm not going to lie. Ben Arthur was definitely the star of the show. You'd probably be able to guess that from the highlights. And Balotelli's just that striker. I prefer playing with a target man that's not too fast. 4-star skills I'd prefer, but a nice big strong striker just to hold the ball up a little bit. And I thought Balotelli did that perfectly, and he was good finishing obviously as well. So I'm going to go on now and talk about the team a little bit. As you're going to see here, it's going to pop up. I've given the overall team rating a 9 out of 10, and I've given the team rating for price a 9 out of 10 as well, just because the team wasn't that expensive. I think it cost me just under 400k. I mean, it's decent, it is expensive, but like I said, in Division 2, 5 wins out of 5, that's not too bad. I just want to go out there and say this is strictly personal opinion, and it may have just been because Modric was playing in the holding midfield role, but I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 rating and a 5 out of 10 rating for price. Like I said, this is strictly my opinion. I probably would enjoy him a lot more as a centre mid, but for CDM, this is the ratings I'm going to give him. Similar to Modric, I'm giving Gundogan a 6 out of 10 rating and a price for rating a 6 out of 10 too, just because for 50k you can buy a lot better CDMs. Just like Modric, I probably would prefer this guy a lot more in a centre mid role, but as a CDM, he was slow, he was sluggish. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't particularly good either, so that's why he's getting this rating. On to the last player that was suggested, Mario Balotelli's inform card. I'm going to give him a 9 rating and an 8.5 rating for a price. I really enjoy Balotelli, he always seemed to be in the right positions at the right time. Obviously, he's really good at dribbling, he's good, he's strong, he's 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, and he scored 4 goals in 5 games in Division 2. That's not bad for a striker. So on to the best player. We already voted for Modric as the worst player. We've given Ben Arthur the best player, 9.5 rating, 9.5 rating for price too. He scored 5 goals in 5 games with 2 assists. He was just such a good player. His ball control was so good and smooth. Like I said, he's got 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, just in behind the striker. He was making the perfect runs. I really enjoyed Ben Arthur, and I'm going to give him as my best player. So like I said earlier guys, these are the rules for the series. 1 player worth between 100 and 300k, 1 player worth between 50k and 100k, and the last player worth between 0 and 50k. Any players, any league, let me know down below which players you want to see. Thank you all for watching episode 2, please tune in for the next one. There should be a Swan's career up tomorrow night, and yeah, thanks for watching guys, peace.